the test. Why are you worried about my results? Erica, just tell me the truth. I already know. I already know.
So how do you know? So what makes you?
Come on, you're not. When I say that I am aware of everything and I see everything, you think I'm dumb. I'm not.
So the quickest way you can go into your local Walgreens, Walmart, or CVS and purchase an at-home testing kit is going to run you about $50, and this is what it looks like. The brand is called OraQuick, and yeah, you can get this for $50. Now, there is a website. I wrote it down. Let's see. It's called Together Take Me Home. They'll send you this same testing kit. Actually, they'll send you up to 2 at a time, free of charge. But it'll take a week or 2 to get to you. So with the testing kit, it has to have been 3 months since your last exposure or risk event.
Hey YouTube family, and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm bringing you a deeply disturbing and emotional story that is not only shocking, but also incredibly important. It's the story of a woman who discovered that her boyfriend was intentionally trying to infect her with HIV. She says her first red flag came through a dream, a gut feeling that something in the relationship just wasn't right. That inner voice led her to uncover the horrifying truth. And now she's bravely sharing her story to help others stay aware and protect themselves. Let this serve as a critical reminder. No matter how long you've been with someone, no matter how serious things seem, practice safe sex, get tested regularly, and listen to your intuition. Your health and peace of mind should always come first. If you ever feel like someone is putting your life or well-being at risk, get out of that relationship immediately. Your safety is non-negotiable. Since making the discovery, she's made the courageous decision to move forward with legal action and press charges against him. While she has shared his image in several private Facebook groups to warn others, she is currently unable to publicly name him in this video due to ongoing legal restrictions. Let's go ahead and get into the full story.
Okay, so I just wanted to address something. Now, after this happened, I realized that he was not taking his medication. I went and pressed charges on him. Now, it took them a while to finally actually file the charges and issue an arrest warrant for him and actually arrest him. He was just arrested last October. And then, of course, he's out on bond. However, the case is still open and he's still going to court for it. And I don't want me posting him and y'all go find him and bully him, jeopardize me getting justice and me getting him held accountable for what he has done to me and possibly other people. So I need to make sure that I have my ducks in a row. And I also don't want to get in legal trouble as well. So no, I'm not posting his picture right now at this very moment. Stop asking. If you're dealing with somebody, male, female, whatever, and you ask them to go get tested, and this is their response.
Where's the results?
Take your test. My results are my phone.
Okay,
So
sure.
take yours. Take the test. Why are you worried about my results? Erica, just tell me the truth. I already know. I already know.
So how do you know? So what makes you?
Come on, you're not. When I say that I am aware of everything and I see everything, you think I'm dumb. I'm not.
So where's the results?
Take the fucking test.
Where's the results?
My results don't matter.
They do matter.
Yours do. Take them.
Because you don't have anything.
It doesn't matter.
It does matter.
Take yours.
Excuse me of having
They
shit
shut
or doing stuff.
me up.
Just know that they're hiding something, and it's probably something that they can't get rid of. So that was just a video recording of me and my ex going back and forth after I asked him to take an at-home HIV testing kit. He was refusing to do so, and obviously I figured out why. So the whole time that I was with this man, he acted as if he was sick with cancer, but instead it was actually HIV. Start normalizing going to get tested together, reviewing results together, because people can lie and hide things for a long time. So just protect yourself, because there's people out here that don't care, that aren't happy with themselves, and they don't care what happens to them, so they're not going to care about what happens to you. Okay, to answer this question, how did I find out that he had it? So I'm gonna be completely honest. It all started from a dream that I had. So in the dream, I walked up on him and some man being laid up, and I confronted him about him being gay. And then the other man in the dream was like, well, hey, did he tell you he had HIV? I bet you he didn't tell you that. And so I started going off on him. In the dream, I'm yelling and cursing and just going crazy, right? And it felt so real, I woke up out of breath. And it just bothered me so bad. The next day, after I woke up, I told him, I was like, hey, I had a crazy dream last night that you had an STD and you were trying to give it to me. I was just telling him, about the dream. I'm not thinking, anything of it. And, the look on his face after I told him, it was kind of like a look of embarrassment, but like also he was trying to play it cool. I was like, oh, wow, that's crazy. I'm like, yeah, that's so weird. And I just feel weird about it. And so fast forward, things still didn't feel right after that dream. So I'm like, God, if there is anything that you're trying to show me about this man, just reveal it to me in a way that I understand. So time goes by and something's like, Emery, go through his email. So I looked at his email, and not even 5 minutes prior, someone sends him an email from the clinic here and tells him in order for him to be eligible for the program, he needs to have insurance because they're secondary. So I go to thinking like, hey, what type of program at this clinic is he needed to be in? And so I'm thinking, okay, maybe it's the cancer, right? And so something still doesn't feel right. Fast forward, I ended up putting into Google the person's job title at the clinic, and I kid you not, this is what pops up. So someone asked me, do I intend on exposing him? And to answer that question, yes, I do. I'm going to tell you guys exactly who he is. I'm even going to show you what he looks like. I have text messages of us going back and forth about this situation that I'm probably going to upload as well show you guys a copy of the affidavit because I did press charges on him. But yes, I do plan on exposing him. So just a quick recap for those who have not seen parts 1 and 2. Basically, I was dating this man. He was a pathological liar, a narcissist. He lied about everything. He lied about having cancer. Whole time he had HIV, and he was trying to give me HIV as well. I found out. It started off through a dream, and then I ended up getting physical confirmation by going through his email, which prompted me to ask him to take an HIV testing kit in front of me. As you guys can hear in the previous video, he was not trying to take the test. We were going back and forth about it for a while, but eventually he did. And in the next part, I'm just going to go over what happened after he tested positive. Okay, so I'm going to post a screenshot of some text messages. This is when I was out before I came back to the house and asked him to take the test. We were going back and forth, and basically it's just a screenshot of him denying the fact that he had HIV and him trying to gaslight me, basically. So here, just press pause. Okay, as you can see in those messages, he did not take any accountability. He tried to gaslight me and shift the blame onto me. Clearly, he was going to deny until he could not deny anymore. And again, that was prior to me getting back to the house with the testing kit for him to take. So this is while I was out, and we were messaging back and forth. I got home, asked him to take the test was positive. Okay, so part 4. So the test ends up coming back positive. And in that moment, he tried to gaslight me and shift the blame on me and try to say the test was fake and that the test was wrong and that he needed to go to the doctor and have his doctor test him and he'll show me those results, right? And I snap. I'm not even gonna lie. If I had access to something, baby, ain't no telling what would have happened. Seriously. I snap and I'm like, either you fucking cheated or you've been managing this with medication. Now, which is it? He was not trying to answer that. So I asked him about 2-3 times and he finally answered and he goes, I've been managing it. It's something that I had since 2018. And he said that he got it from his ex when she cheated on him. I don't know if that's true or not. I don't think it's true. I think it's a lie, and I'll tell you why later. but that's what he told me. And when he said that he had been managing it with medication, I kind of believed him, only because I didn't have anything. And at that time, I was very ignorant, and I thought, hey, if you sleep with somebody that has HIV, you're bound to get it, right? So I figured if I didn't have it, maybe he was taking his medication. Well, fast forward, I later found out that that was a lie, and he had not been on his medication. And I'm gonna go over that in part 5 and upload receipts. Okay, so I just want to do a quick little recap before I go to bed. So up until this point, I explained to you guys how I found out that my ex was lying about having cancer when he really had HIV, and he was trying to purposely infect me with it. I explained to you guys how I figured it out, which started through a dream, and then I ended up getting physical confirmation by going through his email and just doing a little extra digging. Part 4, I was explaining to you guys how what happened after he got the positive result using the at-home testing kit. However, TikTok decided to shadow ban that video and is not pushing it to the For You feed. So the people that were like, oh, I hope the algorithm brings me back, yeah, sorry. Part 5, I'm supposed to be explaining to you guys how I found out that he wasn't on his medication. However, I am drained, and so I will be recording that video tomorrow morning and posting it. I will not be doing it tonight. I'm about to go to bed. It's 11:31 where I'm at. So yeah, but I just want to get on here before I go and just thank each and every person who has watched my video, reposted it, and helped spread awareness. I also want to thank each and every person who has left kind and encouraging and uplifting words in my comment section. I appreciate it so much. But again, tomorrow I'll be posting part 5. Make sure you follow me so you guys don't miss out on anything. Okay, so I do apologize. I know I told you guys last night that I was going to post part 5 in the morning. However, after I dropped my kids off, I told myself I was going to take a power nap and ended up sleeping too long. And then when I got up, I had too many things to do and too many appointments to attend. And the few times that I did try to record, I don't know what's going on, y'all, but I started having like an anxiety tag or a crying spell. And yeah, it could just be because I started my period today. I don't know, but I'm not re-recording this, so if I do start crying or whatever, y'all just gonna have to skip through it, okay? So part 5. So by this time, we have been living together for a few months now. So I had no means to move out that same day, okay? So we were just gonna have to figure it out. So he was on the opposite end of the house in our spare bedroom. I cannot talk. And I was in our room. Anyway, so after I calmed down and processed what was going on, we had another conversation. And basically, I just asked him, like, hey, you know that I'm, like, the most understanding person in this world. Like, I've been through a lot, done a lot. I can't judge nobody about anything. So why didn't you just tell me? And he said that he intended on telling me eventually. He just didn't know how because he was scared of the judgment that came with it or whatever. So then I was like, well, this whole time that we've been living together, I've never seen you take any medicine. So how are you current on your medication? And he says that he doesn't take the pills every day because he thinks that he would forget. So he's been taking the shot. Remember this. He's been taking a shot. And I'm just like, okay. And then he gets to talking too much. And you know how narcissists love to make elaborate stories. So then he was like, yeah, the last time I went to the doctor, they said that my blood levels were really good, and they were even questioning if I still have the virus. He was like, yeah, the doctor is wanting to take samples of my blood and stuff and do tests on it because they're just so amazed that my levels are just so low now. And in the back of my mind, I was just like, oh, brother, like, here you go. But I didn't call him out on it because I didn't want to trigger him. I was like, okay, well, you know, that's good. So anyways, fast forward. Okay, so fast forward. He is working out of state at this time, which worked out perfectly because we weren't running into each other like that. And so one day I get off work and I go get in the bed. And as soon as I get in bed, I open up TikTok. And the first thing that I see when I open up TikTok, if I'm lying, God could strike me down. I really feel like it was God again. Basically, it was a creator on here and she was like, never break no contact with a man because they be coming back with things and they be trying to give it to you on purpose. And she just kept repeating it over and over and over again. And I'm just like, dang, does this apply to me? Like, this it feels like she's talking directly to me. Like, I really got weirded out by it. And so, like, I just closed the app. And as soon as I closed the app, y'all, I get like a wave of cold chills. And I'm like, okay, it's freezing in here. Let me go find a hoodie. So I walk to the living room, and the first thing I see is his big black jacket. So I'm like, okay, I can just wrap up in this. So as I'm putting the jacket on, I feel something in the jacket pocket. And it felt like a credit card. And I was like, oh, he left one of his cards here. So I go to get the card out, and it's actually his appointment cards. Anyways, on the appointment card, it has an address on there, and on there it says re-entry lab work. So my nosy self, I go and Google the address, and basically it was to a place in Arkansas that assists people living with HIV with getting access to medication. He had been out of the program for so long, he had to start the process over and do re-entry paperwork and labs. So that's one way I kind of figured he really wasn't on medication. And then, okay, so after I found the appointment cards, I did not mention anything to him. I put them exactly where I found them. I played dumb, laid back, and just peeped how he moved, right? I didn't say anything about him. So a couple weeks go by, he's back from out of town, and I go to check the mail, and he has a package in the mail in some type of like discreet packaging. I'm nosy, so I'm shaking the bag trying to figure out what it is, and it sounds like a bottle of pills. So I hand him a package, and I'm like, here, you have a package. And he was like, oh, thanks. And I'm like, what is it? And he was like, oh, it's just warmer for the dog. So I'm waiting for him to open it, and he never opens it in front of me. It's like, all right, whatever. In the back of my mind, I kind of figured what it was. So my nosy self, I get on Google, and I Google the address, and it is some pharmacy. Fast forward, he gets ready to go out of town, and he leaves something behind. And what he left behind was a pill bottle. And on that pill bottle, it had that same address on there. Okay? My nosy self again, I get on Google, and I Google the name of the medication, and this is what pops up. Okay? So mind you, when we had our initial conversation, he said that he did not want to take pills because he knew that he would not be able to take them every day. He knew he would not remember to take them every day, and that's why he was on the shot. Whole time, that was a lie. He had just got back on medication. And remember I told you guys about the dream, and I told you that I told him about the dream. So after I told him about the dream, that kind of spooked him, and so he tried to hurry up and get back on medication. And so time went on for a while, and I never confronted him about it until I officially left that house. And I'm going to tell you about that, how that conversation went.